Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 3. This is for episode 4. It's called 100. And spoiler warning as usual for this review. If you guys have not seen episode 4, which is called 100 yet, you definitely want to watch it before watching this review. This episode was a really standout episode for Fear the Walking Dead, I think. I was not expecting to see anything like this at all. I was expecting, if you guys saw my video predictions for this week, to see this new character Dante possibly even becoming a major villain or something like along the lines of Zombie Apocalypse, Fear the Walking Dead Governor, something like that, because of course he's kind of like a Zombie Apocalypse kingpin, or at least he was in this episode beforehand, you know, kind of protecting the water and having this whole infrastructure getting built and everything, and really, you know, ruling with a cold hard hand, and you know, like executing people by throwing them off the damn dam, which we got to see in episode 3 and kind of the lead up to this one. This episode really surprised me because I didn't think it was going to be as good as it actually ended up being. This one is a very rewatchable episode of Fear, and maybe it's the best self-contained episode they've ever done, meaning this one has a story arc that kind of starts at the beginning of the episode and it kind of finishes at the end of the episode. So it's not like a lot of episodes that you'll see in Fear the Walking Dead or other series where maybe you have like a finale where they kind of have all these elements coming together and then there's a big climax at the end, which we've had in Fear. But this one, just for being kind of like a regular episode, for being sort of a flashback or a caught up type episode where you go from where Daniel was at in the season 2 mid-season finale to now, and we find out everything that he's been through, and the time syncs up from then until now with him running into Strand, like we saw at the end of episode 3. So this one was really incredible. I thought the way they just set this whole thing up, and you know, the character development for Daniel, the writing was just, it was so on point, and the climax at the end of the episode was so exciting and such kind of a twist from, you know, I was in this place at the end of the episode where I wasn't sure what they were going to do. Like, I wasn't sure, because you know somebody's going to die, but you just don't know how it's going to go. And they went a route that I really didn't think they were going to do. I really was thinking or feeling at that moment that Daniel was going to take Lola and Ephraim and throw them over or get someone else, and they were going to throw them right over, and maybe even afterwards Strand as well. So this one, man, really, holy cow, what a crazy twist in this episode to see Daniel kill off, you know, the leader of this dam group. And it was so well set up from the beginning of the episode. Like, you know, we meet these characters earlier on. We quickly grow to care for them because they seem to be very generous to Daniel. They seem to be very generous people, and you know, just basically trying to do what they have to do in order to survive. And you get kind of this battle over the resource, battle over water, and wow, it was just so well set up. It started off so great, and then it wrapped things up with this little mini story arc all in one episode, in what is maybe the best episode Fear the Walking Dead has ever done, as far as like something like this goes, that's not a part of a bigger story arc. So I usually give my score later on, but I'll just say right now, this one was like a perfect episode. I give this one like a 10. This is probably the highest rated episode of Fear I think they've ever done, really. And I think as far as like not an episodic but a self-contained episode where it has its own storylines, probably the best they've really ever done. That's not a part of, you know, some kind of bigger story arc or something that we're seeing. So really, just amazing stuff for this one. I loved some of the choices they made where they had Dante recognize Daniel when he hears his name, when he hears Salazar, check, and then see who he is and see what he is. We find out that Daniel has killed 96 people to his recollection, or as far as he knows, which is makes him the highest killer in the Walking Dead universe that we know of so far, in terms of an actual number. But then later on, he does say that he did lose count, or he's not sure how many he actually did kill, which was Really crazy. Also, when you have the scene where he's forced by Dante to get the information from Ephraim, and he has to go in, and he has to, he's beating the crap out of him. And then he takes the hammer, and he's going up and getting ready. And then Lola gives herself up, and they kind of figure out that that she was the one to be involved with the stealing of Dante's water. Man, it was such a thrilling scene, and it was just so, I was really surprised that they were able to make us get so emotionally involved in characters that we literally just met. That's what is most impressive about the episode to me, is that we just met these characters. It's not like we spent a lot of time with them, but we just feel so sorry for them. Given their situation and what Dante is basically doing as just this really cold-hearted, leader of this dam group, that it was just, man, really, really mind-blowing, incredible stuff for sure. And I also want to say, I think this might be the best episode, that they've done in all The Walking Dead, as far as showing scarcity, as far as showing what that kind of apocalyptic world would be like in that location, where, of course, water is very scarce. It's hard to find drinkable water that won't, make you sick or kill you. Clean water that you can actually drink. And just kind of like the street view was wicked cool. The beginning, you have this crazy kind of intro music with this agua repeating over and over again, and just and throughout the episode as well too. But just some really different intro music that I really was not used to. But it was really cool, especially when you see Ephraim and he's on the bike and he's kind of going around. It's just really crazy. And where Daniel's, he's passing out underneath a car, zombies almost getting him, a walker's almost getting him, and he's just barely able to kind of survive. You've got the Ephraim who's using like a nail, which was kind of funny because I haven't seen anything like that before. So he's like knocking them down, and then he's using a nail with a mallet to put them out of their misery. Which I guess you could say it could work, I suppose. It's just not something we're used to. And also the zombies in this one felt very strong, very powerful, especially the one where Daniel hits the one with his stick that he has, and it breaks with the lightning coming down, which was really crazy, because it's like, and that's something they don't touch on a lot in the Walking Dead universe, which is that not all zombies are going to be as easy to take out as others. Some might just be kind of your regular, maybe 6 foot or 5'5" or whatever zombie that's not that difficult to take out. But you could have some bigger guys that might weigh 250 or 300 become zombies, might be like 6'5" or something. It might be pretty difficult to take them out, because they might be able to take a shot from something like that, like a stick or something, and it might break. And then, of course, they've got leverage because they're coming down on you, and that was pretty cool too. Also, that he had kind of basically accepted his fate at that point, and kind of in a way, I don't want to say like wanted to die, like he's not suicidal, but he's struggling with his will to go on. He's struggling in this episode with his desire to survive, for feeling guilty for all the different things that he has done. So you get the lightning strike that comes down on the head of the one zombie, which was pretty wicked cool, and it was a nice way to go on. I mean, it's like a luck type thing, I suppose, for him to survive. I didn't view it kind of as contrived. I just viewed it as like, what are the chances of that? But at the same time, he's like down there in the streets, in the muck, in the crap and everything else, and he's just, he's basically just getting by at this point on luck and how things end up. The people find him, they got to scrape his leg and everything, which was also super dark and really brutal. And again, the episode really dark, really ugly at parts, really gritty, so definitely the visuals for this one, and just the whole feeling of kind of being in there with him in that state was, I thought, was delivered extremely well, and just really put you in this weird mind frame when you're watching it that was almost off-putting at times, and then other times like, wondering how dark they're going to go, how far they're going to go with this, and what they're going to do with Daniel. Is Daniel going to become like the next villain for Fear? Or how is this going to go? Is he going to become like a Merle to the governor? Him to Dante, and it's just it was so dark at parts that I thought it was just, it was brilliant. So aside from just the crazy feel, the crazy music, and just everything that we got to see in this one, the idea of thirst and that, which we have seen them kind of touch on before with Nick when he was surviving in the second season. He was kind of there and he was kind of like, passing out and everything. But this one, I felt like they did it even better this time with Daniel. And they had some more interesting things happen with him as a character where he's feeling guilt for all the things he's done. And that touching scene as well when he's talking to Ephraim and he tells him that he's not sure if he, may have accidentally in the crazy frame of mind that he was in, burnt his daughter, everybody he's with, alive, or basically might be responsible. He even thinks at this point, and you would, I guess, if you were him, if you killed that many people, that you might start thinking you're responsible for, he did start the fire, so you've got that, and, maybe, thinking that he's responsible for that and just feeling guilty for everything, that maybe he had actually accidentally killed his own daughter, but the worst part is he's not even sure if he did or not. So really crazy stuff going on from there. Anything else here? Just the feeling of scarcity in the episode was really well delivered. It was really well taken, and the way they kind of set up the story with Lola and the others, Ephraim, was just really crazy at the end. Then you have the big twist where you have Daniel who kills off Dante and kills off the others that are up there with him, basically saving all of those that are there with him at that time. So really, just an incredible episode of fear. It kind of hit me off guard because as I'm watching it, I start seeing parts here and there that are great, like the scene I mentioned with Ephraim and Daniel, where he's he's kind of losing it, talking about what he did and feeling guilty for Ophelia and the others, and wanting to be forgiven. And then later on, they come back to it. Man, it was awesome. It was awesome, and it was just amazingly well done. So I couldn't think to give this one anything but a perfect 10 out of 10 as far as like a horror, zombie apocalypse, character-driven episode that you want to have. This is perfect. This takes Daniel from being, I thought he was done. Like, I thought he was pretty much dead because I didn't think it'd make sense that he'd be alive at all, in which we kind of saw that he was kind of alive, but at the same time he was almost dead because he got like his pant leg, singed into his skin and stuff that they have to scrape off and everything. It was just, oh man, so amazing. And what it does for Daniel, it basically takes him from being, off the map and not even knowing if he's alive or not, and brings him to a point now where he's probably, can I say he's my favorite character now after this episode, after Travis being killed off in the double premiere. Daniel might be my next favorite character, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have in store for him and the rest of Fear. I'm really intrigued by it and to see what they'll do with him and kind of how much more badass he could possibly get. I don't know if you could become any more badass, but I thought Ruben Blades did an amazing job. So creative. What a great episode. I was blown away by it. I thought it was absolutely amazing. So you guys can write your comments below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Send me your questions for the Q&As this week. Let's discuss it because, man, this was a loaded episode. I'm probably even going to watch it again after doing the videos tonight because I just thought it was so great. And, of course, I'll be back for the predictions video for episode 5 pretty soon. We've got 3 episodes left for this half, so it's about 3 weeks. Of Fear the Walking Dead before some kind of a break, and we'll see how long that's going to be and everything when it gets closer. But incredible episode. They killed it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below and send me those questions. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.